This is pretty cool. So hey, check it out. So we've got Pokemon XYZ Switch 2 edition, and this was one of the pre-order bonuses I got. Pretty cool, Mega Evolution trading cards. Unfortunately, there were a bunch of people there who were, doing that sort of stuff. We're also going to be doing a couple of other things, and I'm going to do a real quick review on Tron Ares. But let's get to a couple of the things. So the first thing they gave me was check it out. We have a bonus content pre-order bonus, and we have the game itself. But we're also going to be unboxing. Check this out. We have an exclusive translucent orange pumpkin vinyl for the Great Charlie Brown, and we're also going to be doing Cypress Hill Black Sunday. We'll compare that also to the CD, and again, primary stuff. But with that being said, let's get to the game and get this done as fast as we can. Oh, and one other thing. If anybody's seen the old video, this actually does work. In fact, let's show you right now. Now, it's a little weird because you can't just switch it. You have to do this, which turns it down to that. Push the X and then check it out. That's right. It's playing a Sega Genesis game, Primal Rage. Pretty cool when you think about it. And it's actually really good quality. So this is basically like really cheap in comparison to the Sega Nomad. So pretty cool. I mean, I don't know if you can hear that. Unfortunately, I think there's a noise canceling feature on my camera on this particular computer. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyhow, let's get to the game. So we've got our trusty throwing knife. We got our game. And remember, because this is a special version of the game, it will also work in your original Nintendo Switch games. You can actually read that right there as well as the little thing. So that's pretty cool. So no matter what, I can still play this on my Switch One, both my OLED and my Lite, which I use when I travel and stuff. All right. That's pretty cool. All right, so that's what it looks like with the plastic off. Pretty nice. We'll get to see what this is like later on. And oh, there's something in here about the online. There's whoa, there's actual stuff in here. Hold on. Okay, some booklets and oh, something for that's pretty cool. There's an online manual or something. Pretty cool. Mixed with that. And check it out. We got our cartridge, and look, right behind there, we actually have something on the back. And that's cool. That's cool. Look at that. Really cool. This is about the only time, though, I'm a little disappointed with the fact Nintendo went with a red cartridge instead of the clear ones like they did for the Switch One. Just saying. Okay, let's get to Charlie Brown. Basically, I gotta be careful because it's trying to come out all the time. It's pretty cool. You can see through it and stuff. You can see, there it is. It's basically a full vinyl record. That's pretty cool. And that's what it looks like behind there. It's pretty cool. So we're just gonna put it back in. See if something just seals back up. I'll probably have to put some tape or something on these sides to try to keep it from cutting out. That sucks. All right, we've got Cypress Hill Black Sunday, as you can see here. But the cool part is I actually have also the CD, so we can compare the CD. So size, obviously, I do love the fact. So there's that, and here's what it looks like on the inside. So you have that. You also, I love the fact that the record, I mean, the CD itself is this really blue, sort of really metallic kind of look. It's really cool. And it's a great album. It's one of the reasons I was looking forward to having it on vinyl. So it's also a big one, as you can see here. So there is something on the inside. Let's take a look. We're going to go up top if I can. All right. So here we go. That's what it looks like. And there's something in here too. Oh, that's cool. Something was trying to come out. Oh, this is cool. That is really cool. All right. And it is a two record set. All right. Oh, there's something else in there too. I'm not that one. Black Sunday. Pretty cool. All right. That's actually kind of cool. It's a little different. It's not like the usual one. Like going out like that. It's pretty cool. About three songs on each side. So it's probably a high grade value vinyl. So that's great. Just getting it back in as they clean in the front. There we go. All right. We've got the second vinyl. So again, it's kind of cool. And then there's all the songs. And it's the same setup. It's pretty cool. All right. So we got one more. This one's just a straight CD, but I wanted to show it off before we get to the movie thing part. I have the first ever album I've ever owned of Ailstorm. Here we are. This the Thunderfist Chronicles. This is the one that has the new song you might have seen on YouTube called "Killed to Death by Piracy" and stuff. What's cool is that this is actually a two-disc set. As you can barely make out. Bonus disc, Hailstorm Live. That's pretty cool. It's a little booklet design. That's pretty cool. It's actually got some weight to it. All right, so here we go. I want to be careful. I don't want to damage this. It's pretty cool. There we go. Like it's got like kind of almost like a book cover. Ooh, even sounds like one. All right. We pull open here, and the first thing I see is the normal disc. That's pretty cool. All right. And I open it up. And look, it's an actual booklet. You see, I love these ones when there's actually something like this. There's more than just the Illstrom guys. To the death by piracy. And then, at least look at the titles. These guys are good. These guys, both from the way they sound sometimes and also the way they do things, kind of give me Dropkick Murphys vibes. Movements ahoy! I definitely got a good one here. I'm also considering getting this as a vinyl as well for my vinyl collection. This stuff is cool. They actually have some Binky Joes. Look at these, man. Cool. And on the back is the other one. I believe it's just an audio CD. Let's take a look. Yep, compact disc. That's pretty cool. Okay, that's cool. All right. Like I said, we're going to do the Tron stuff real quick. So the first thing is I went to the movie theater, I saw the movie, and as you can see here, we have the cup. This was not cheap, but it was just too cool. And yeah, look at that. It actually turns on and it actually shows up on camera too. And like Aries is a identity disc. It's pretty cool. You actually do this and it's drinkable, completely reusable. Batteries can be replaced. There's actually, as you can see right there, a huge section where it just comes in, and it's got a great look. And then we have this, believe it or not. This is the popcorn bucket. So again, wow, that actually lights up even better. It's pretty cool. Now the cool thing is this is actually a full bucket. It's actually really cool, but check this out. You actually have movable light cycles on the side, so that's pretty cool. I mean, as you can see here, there's quite a bit on stuff. And it's got the red and stuff. Tron, Aries. um, so yeah, pretty cool. I mean, they're cool conversational pieces and stuff, and also cool stuff I can put in and stuff. Plus, also on display, I have, as you can see right here, is Rizzler's identity disc from Tron Legacy. I got this one all the way back when the in 2010 when the movie came out, so it's not exactly new, but it works. Still works. And somewhere I have Kevin Flynn's as well. All right, let's do this quick review here. I originally wanted to do a long one, but it's not going to be that way. So the movie was actually pretty decent. It was actually really good. It wasn't great. It wasn't okay. It was actually good. And I think that helped me like it more is because I am actually a Tron fan. I know what's going on from all of the stuff, so I know what's going on. I know about the Dillingers. I know about the Flynn's. I know about what's going on. And I found it to be really good. And what I quickly found was um, I absolutely um, just fell in love with the movie. It was that good. But I also would understand why people would hate it too. And let's be very fair. Jared Leto playing Ares is not my first choice. I would have picked somebody else. But I can at least say, unlike the Joker, unlike that crazy dude in the Blade Runner movies, he actually was pretty normal. That's a scary thing to say. He was normal for the movie. And you actually could feel for him. Ares and Eve Kim, the head of MCOM, they're the two main hero characters, and then you, of course, you have Julian Dillinger, who's your bad guy, who's causing all the problems and stuff. And they're after their MacGuffin for the phone, which is the permanence code, which will finally allow programs to stay in the real world for more than 29 minutes. Yeah, there's a cutoff time. And this also answers a couple of questions, like some people have been saying, well, why didn't Sam and Cora change the world from two? And I've got two right here, and I've actually been watching them. I still don't have my 4K copies yet. They're coming, but you know, um, at the end of the movie, like they were out and stuff. What I figure is that remember the tech that was being used by Kevin Flynn and Sam was like from 1989, 1990. So that's like a 20 something year gap between the end of 89 to 2010, and stuff's going to happen. But also, you know, the technology the two companies are working on is to bring things out of the computer and into the real world. It's very different than sending things in, like we saw in the original Tron and in Legacy. And, you can't just bring something in. You need this code. And Kevin had already found it. And I think it was because of the ISOs. It makes sense. He also explains why he says with my disk, it's possible they can come out. He wasn't sure, but he said it's possible. And that's actually slightly confirmed later on in the movie when, Kim is, Eve is literally almost killed because she actually has the code. She just doesn't have it physically, like she can just hand it out. It's in her body and in her disc when she's in the digital world. And it makes a pretty good point. What I see is between Ares and Kim, there's this sort of war buddy relationship because they get stuck together. There's people trying to kill them, all kinds of shit's trying to happen. And they're basically just trying to survive. And it works really well in that regard. You see that war buddy movies, even people who like just met each other and they like, have to fight together and they become friends. And that's actually part of what makes it so good. And in a way, Ares becomes kind of the new mantle of Tron in this sense. He's not the original, or maybe he's like an element of that one. We don't know how Julian Dillinger made him. We just know that he started writing code. And I wouldn't be surprised if he used some template program to start from. And what better program than Tron? And we see that build up. And he eventually becomes self-aware, and the talks with Kevin Flynn and Ares and stuff, it just makes the movie great. And I found it was a very good story. It wasn't perfect. No story is. And people are like, well, your one big red flag is Jared Leto right there. But I'll be fair, it was actually pretty decent. What I wasn't expecting when I went to the movie theater was the film to be in 3D. I'm not kidding. The film was in 3D. I'm like, wait a minute, they're still doing 3D movies? Wow. So I was kind of impressed by that. And I'm pretty sure there's IMAXs that are normal and then 3D as well, but I didn't expect it. The only reason I saw it in 3D is because it was the earliest showing and I had other stuff to do that Saturday. Theater was not packed, but it was actually getting halfway full. So no matter what, you're going to get your seats. So I wasn't complaining any bit. Movie was fun. It was actually pretty decent. Um, and in fact, I even started playing Tron Evolution again. I have it for my PS3 right over there, along with my PS3, and I can also play it on my PS5 too, thanks to the streaming thing, since I'm that particular kind of member, and it just works and stuff. I also want to see if it's available on my Xbox. That'd be nice. But anyways, it was actually a decent and good movie. It was fun. There is stuff to see. There's a mid-credit scene, so don't leave the theater right away. Stay a little bit because that's pretty cool. There is potential for a four if it will ever work out. And I think what people seem to forget is this is a move. This is a kind of movie series where it will come out. It'll make a certain amount of money, and then it will really find itself on home video and stuff. Kind of like how even the original Matrix came out, it hit people, and then it really hit home when it came to home video. I can tell you that you could not find a copy of the Matrix when it came to DVD and VHS back in the day. Oh man, that was a pain in the butt. But yeah, man, it was actually pretty decent. I'm really hopeful for the future and for the series. Who knows what to expect? I hope you like everything I've shown off. And also, if you want to see the movie, it's really good. I'm also hoping soon that it's going to be kind of like The Conjuring and will be available on Amazon or my Xbox, and I can just buy it there and watch it. Here's hoping. Anyways, guys, like and subscribe, hit the bell for notification. And I've also got some other stuff to unbox for a future video, including one for Halloween, which will be this really cool version of Poltergeist right here. I'm saving that for its own video. And it is actually a special numbered selection. Yeah, it's foreign, but you know what? This particular kind of cool stuff, I just couldn't wait. Anyways, guys, like and subscribe, hit the bell for notification, and I'll see you guys later. And happy Halloween.